Alright, it's Zhen here, and for today's topic, we're going to talk about entitlement, the sleeping giant of real estate profitability, which means that, for example, is when you want to do a project, actually, when you come into real estate investing, especially when you want to build a real estate business or project to sell to everything else, actually you are in people business because you're going to surround yourself with a lot of talent people, no matter lawyers, real estate agent, so the plan, everything else. But the first thing you need to know that when you invest in real estate, actually you're going to talk and know the local politician. You're going to know and cooperate with the politics, because in every country, actually not just about the people who own the land, but actually the government, they own the land, and then the title, everything about the land that you're gonna grow to, that is you can cooperate with the local government people. So when we talk about entitlement, which means that you can control a project, actually when you talk about developing a project, everything else, actually owning an asset is not as important as controlling an asset, because when you can control an asset, actually you can get more profit. So that, let's talk about it for more detail. And then when we talk about local politics, the people, actually you need to know that it's the people who are in your area, so that you can cooperate with them, and then to much more know about your city. The first of, when you want to start a project, everything else, actually for normal, that you're going to study for general plans for your city and towns. You're going to read the zoning code coordinates, and you're going to know how the game is played, and then you're going to think in terms of how you can benefit the politician, not the other way around. Because when you want to develop a project, actually it's very much more cooperate with political, so that you need to build and you need to know what they want. So you need to be on top of city and town politics when you want to step into real estate development. Then who you gonna know from the politician, which means that first the staff there is for the staff in planning department. Actually you need to know the planning department people from government, and then you need to ask their planning, their personality. You're gonna make them a cup of coffee, or you're gonna treat them, or you can ask for your project what you're gonna build. Not just about the planning department of the government, but you need to know about the neighborhood group surrounding area. When you find a piece of land, you need to know the surrounding of the neighborhood also. You need to know whether they can get your objection, everything else or not. And then as you know, number two. Number three is the planning commission people. This one people, they will know about the planning thing, everything else, so you can go and talk with them, be friends with them, so that you can get advice from them. And the next is the city council. City council is the ultimate voting body when you want to do your project, and then you're gonna know that city council, because you're gonna support them politically and then become their friends, so become well known, so that when your project goes smooth and steady, because you need them to do all the project, everything else. When you will come into work with this political person, actually you're gonna be win-win station, and you go and negotiate with them. And then not just about the political people, but also for the neighborhood also. When you want to build about the surrounding area, you need to study who is the leader of the neighborhood, so you can get them a group of people, so you can ask them about things, and then you sharing your plan, everything else. That's what you're gonna have a back system you need to know. And not just about that, but you're gonna have a timetable and be patient, because you're gonna when you want to build a project, everything else, no matter what project you want to build, for residential, condo, or service apartment, everything else, you need to have your certain timetable or long-term timetable, because you're gonna know your project. If not, you're gonna help know your numbers, because you want to approach for the investor. Everything else you need to know, because when we come into political everything, you need to know your timetable, not just about the project, but when the election coming, when we talk about political people, right, your project is better for you is you're gonna have it done within the circle of the election. If maybe 5 years one election, you need to done your project within that year, because if something changing happen, it will affect your property development progress. So you not just about the election, but you're also working with the landowner, so that you can get them a fixed date. So every money you investor, so they will know their time, and then you'll know the market circles also, because you couldn't know what market, and then the price, everything else you will know. And the capital market change also, you will know about the money, interest rate, underwriting criteria may be changed. So you need to know the time frame so that you can plan it well. And not just about you need to know the time frame, but you need to go and know and be friend with your surround area of the developers and the builders also, because actually you can learn from people who have the experience. So the first thing how you can cooperate with them is you can fill your brain with a lot of knowledge, so you can go and talk with them so that you can provide value from them. Actually at the same time you can learn from each other, and then you can learn from their experience when you want to start to build up. And not just about developer, but so you need to understand what developer and the builder want, because you know what they want. When you want to hire a people, they come up construction to build a property with you, actually you can talk with them not just about on a cash term, but you can entitle property for them. For example, you can exchange with them with a few property, not just you just pay them the cash, but you can exchange them with them. You can cooperate a project, maybe a couple pieces or 1, 2, 3, 4 property, you can sharing with them. With this method you can understand, not just about paying the money, because with the builder, the people of construction, they can get the property, and then actually if they can cooperate with you, you can save a lot of costs also. At the same time, it's win-win situation for you to do. Okay, when we talk about buyers and builder, actually when you do a project, actually they already buy the project before you build out the project, and then to sell, actually when under construction stage you can sell a property already. At this time you can save a lot of time, so that you can have your cash in hand first, so that everything you plan in full. When we talk about this, so what you're gonna do, you need to have your landscaping, elevation, so you're gonna locate your residential development, so you're gonna have your school, is that any school district matter, the cities, you need to get the best image, and then do the marketing. And you're gonna know your infrastructure cost, so you're gonna find out what is the cost of the engineering, and the plan, everything else, the construction, street, sea, water, common area, everything, and landscaping. So all this you're gonna know. And then how many home builder, single family lot, or you need to build the commercial lot, everything else, you need to know this before you want to go and do the project. When we talk about home building, if you want to build the homes, actually you need to know what the size of the home you are building, how many phase you want to build, how many lots you want to build, then how many lots you need to offer for your developer, a model home or complex. Where you want to locate your models, your submission, because when you want to sell the residential property or the home, actually you need to have scale model. All you need to know about this when you talk about real estate. And then you need to know about the market also. What's the rental rate? Does the market accept? What's the amenities? And then how many parking space? How many land size necessary for destiny to operate or park properly? Do you have specific lighting, transit location, or what kind of vehicles, integration, joining, neighborhood need? What is the school? Whether school, crime and so on. All this you need to do the study. Alright, when we talk about project, when you want to start, you know about your people, then how you start to playing the game actually is the more you learn, the more you earn. So you can fill your brain with a lot of knowledge. So knowledge is, if you have your knowledge, you can use knowledge to base as a capital to create the value. So we start when you want to start playing this game. So how you're gonna step into and develop a project? So first, you're gonna have your knowledge. First, you're gonna gain your knowledge. You're gonna have your best team with you. The third-party vendors, such as the team that you need to have, is surveyor, the land planner, environmental companies. So because you need to build something, is quality and reliability are the key you need to know. And then you need to know your area well. And then you're going to ask your real estate broker or real estate agent to partner with you, so you can map up the vacant land redevelopment opportunity in this area. So it's better you find a great location and then surround yourself with the popular school, everything else, so you need to know. So number 3 is you're going to compare your prophetic side to the city general plan, to the city council. So you need to have your plan, everything else you can compare, and then you can learn your knowledge with your land planner in developing. Actually, land planner is very important for you to do everything else before you start doing it. And you need to know your market, that the buyer receiving the entitlement or not. Because you learn from the builder, and you also need to learn from the builder, but to know the value of the property that they build, actually how much the price. So you need to set about the numbers, which means that the price of the property, you need to know the cost of the land, and then are you sure as a cost of construction required for the property, the cost of your teamwork and title property, your cost of the resale, brokerage fee or title work. So number 7 is, if you are successful in entitling the property, the profit and the hard work you can get is from your knowledge and the value you created, and then the effort, everything else, the time and the plan. So you need to meet with people also, is with the city planning development, and then ask, recommend each property potential selected, everything else you need to know. And then it's better you narrow scope of your search as much profitable property when you do your search. So what the city staff they recommend, everything else you need to know. So from the land, actually, if you want to buy a piece of land also you can be an entitlement, or you can cooperate with the landowner when you found a great location land, and then you want to cooperate with the landowner also you can go and talk with the landowner, whether are they desire to sell, or can we cooperate together and then get much more better the project, or partner together to go, and after that you can sharing the profit with them, so that you can get, because the long term, right, for develop a project, actually you can sharing the project with the profit with them, or you can sharing couple of property, sharing to them, so they can get the property. That's the matter also. So you need to know the power of the control and the ownership. When you want to control a project, or there's yourself to go and control the project, which means that you need to know that the first one is the capitals. You need to have your own capital to stand by, or you can get some investor to be your investor to do the project with you. So you're going to know that you're going to take the risk, and you're going to know there's a case will be unprofitability, and then you don't know your marketability. You need to know the market, because you need to build the project, actually they can sell to the community or sell to the customer. So when you talk about seller, actually you can sharing profit. This one you know already. When one benefit for the seller, when we go and talk about the land, you want to cooperate with them or partner with them, and then you exchange the property with them, actually for them have the benefit also. You can have save the tax, because you can use what we talked before is the tax exchange from the land. They own the land, but you exchange with the property with them when you build a project. So after you have your concept to know this, and then you're going to have your agreement with it. So you can ask experienced real estate attorney to draft a standard letter of intent, which means that you can use this LOI, letter of intent, to go and approach to the investor or the seller, everything else, so you can do the lead wealth generation, so you can raise your capital, everything else. So you're gonna have your real estate attorney to draft an LOI, okay, you can, so that you can execute the LOI to the seller or to your investor, or you can have to know the detail. So after that, if they agree, so that the agreement, you can get agreement to sign with them, so you control the property, let you go and play the game. So open and then get the title report, everything else you need to know. So there's some diligent due you need to do, hardworking and go and do it, is you need to review your title report with the help of title company. You need to know whether they have any recorded of the covenants, condition or restriction, any caveat or not. This one you need to do the research. And then you need to check for deed restriction of the ownership or not. You need to read the easement, understand who are the right of the access, and then who are the people who control the access, everything else. Then you need to see if there are any assessment recorded against your property that you are responsible for or not. And you need to study who has the right to the minerals of the property. For example, if a piece of land, who is the right for the mineral? If you get the mineral, is to the owner or to this project. To the study, give the title report also, all recorded documents to your civil engineers to create the ALTA builders, lender survey, everything else you need to know. And once you have control the property, your team is your real estate agent or real estate broker. Is a potential buy, because these people is help you go and fight for the market and get the sales for you, so you can turn your project into cash, so you can get a profit. Okay, when you work with these people, and not just about, don't forget to, you need to cooperate with the builders or contractor and the buyer in the planning process. You're going to plan everything, every single thing. When you done everything of this project you want to do, and then work it well, not just about planning everything else this, but you need to do some surveys and the report also. So the next step is, when you secure a lender, is a survey you're gonna do, because you're gonna survey everything else, whether it is a good thing for you to invest. And then, for example, what you need to do the survey is, you need to review your survey to see whether is there any functional structure, everything else your neighbor have on your property, or you have this survey you know. And then you're gonna know the access point of your property, whether everything is good or not. And then you need to know any power, gas, everything or dangerous in your property or not. So you're gonna make sure your engineer include flood plain, whether that place got flood, everything else you need to plan all really well. And then you need to give the survey to your land planner, because they help you develop a land plan, everything layout you need to have. So be detailed when you do something. So after that, not just about planning anything else, but you need to have insurance to cover your project also. That's, for example, into your third party vendor with liability insurance. When you want to do this project, actually you can make sure your project first, how much the cost you need to put in, so your insurance must be same as that can cover your project. That's very important, not just about that. And then not about this, but the soil report also you need to know, and need to tell people to go and look at the soil condition, because when you want to build a project, actually you need to look at the soil. For example, is there a paddy field? So that you need a lot of soil to go and look at it, so there's much cost on it. So soil report you're gonna know, and then whether is there got any dangerous mineral or not. So when we talk about the reports, so the first one is the environment report you need to do, because you need to search for the property, the land, actually got any fuel tank leak or not, are they floating. So you need to know that when you come about building a project, you need to do the safe project, so that everything else, environment report also you need to know, you need to have. And then the next report is constraint report, which means that any water, civils, telephone, gas, electric, fire, so that as your engineer you need to know before that. If not, let's destroy something else, so it will cost you more money. And then the next report is the drainage report. The drainage, the pathway of the water, whether your project, the water can come or not, will support. You need to ask from the people, the expert that doing the report for you for your water, and then not just about the water, but also the everything else you need to know. And then the next is the archaeology study, which means that your place, that the property that you want to build at there, is there any buried something at here or not? If not, there's something that if the Federal Aviation Administrator review, and then the flight pass, everything else, and then the well, everything you need to know, and then be detailed. That's the thing that you need to go through, and then you stay in your head about what you need to know. And then after you done all this, the application that what you need, so you need to have your plan, door to door, and then through the neighborhood, and then you're gonna surround. If there got any neighborhood, then you're gonna have your full color site plan. You're gonna have traffic information. You're gonna have your letter for support from the school district. So your business card, your contract information. You need to have a petition for the neighbor to sign to support your project when you want to do it. Because if not, if you don't scared about later the neighbor, they get the objection, everything else, so you're in trouble. So after you know this, that it's better you go and start your presentation with the neighbor that fathers for your project. So maybe they have least interested, or they are much more interested, so you can get their support. Even though they can become your customer also for if you build a great project with them. So how to talk with the neighbors? So first, the thing you need to do is dress nicely. So you need to be polite, and then be honest, be prepared, listen, don't debate them, make friends, build relationship. So you need to build relationship, so you can be proud of what you are doing, so you can get some contact information. You can communicate with your neighbors so that you can get support from them, so you can smoothly build a project. Then you need to remember there's something that you should not do, which means that not leave your project information behind, because maybe some action of your project will happen. So this is, you can know as what you need to be careful, because when you project everything else, sure will be change something else. Then at the same time, you're gonna be friend of the previous 6 months. You're gonna go and tell your people, surround your people, tell your friends that you're gonna build a project, whether that project is good or not. You can do some marketing survey, or the city planning staff, the community, so you're gonna know. When we talk about building a project, which means that you need to remember that you don't have to own a piece of property, you just have to control it. You're gonna have that control, which means that you're not surely just need to go and get the land or buy the land. Actually, if you can control, so how you can control the project, everything else is from the knowledge. So you can fill your head with a lot of knowledge, so that you know everything else, so that you can create a futuristic thing, so you can create the future. And then when we talk about building a project, you want to build some project, actually there's some opportunity when your capitals, if you have capitals, your capital is most valuable when economy in recessions, which means that a lot of people, they are willing to sell your land or want to cooperate with you. It's more important, because there's an opportunity when the market is crash or in recessions. Actually, they have a lot of opportunity that the landowner, they want to cooperate with you, they want to partner with you, so it's more easily to do. When during recession, your benefit is if you have a capital, or if you have an investor can share with you with capital, so you can go on with it. So when we talk about normal time when the market is good, actually that a lot of people, the economy is good, they don't want to sell their land, they don't want to cooperate with the land. But in the recession time, or in the low market, or the economy crash, these people, when they talk about land and everything else, they are more prefer to sell their land or want to cooperate with you, develop some project so that they can get more cash, or they can get some property from you. So everything is in your control. That's better. That's for you to know your knowledge so that you can control everything else. Or by the way, you can have your property management, so cooperate with you, surround yourself with the talent. So when you want to do project, everything else, start with it. So always remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's for today. See you.